The West is closing its doors to international students, especially from countries like India.
Geopolitics and wars that are happening around will also and are also impacting. Now a lot of students are not willing to go to even US top schools right now because they fear that the kind of odd jobs that you would end up doing, which you will not even think about doing in India, I think that hits them the most. The foreign degree craze, yes, it's there, mostly in terms of people who want to get out of India. So there are two categories here, right? One who wants to get out of India to top business schools or top colleges, and there is another set who wants to just get out of India. So the craze, quote unquote, is there in the latter population. The former who want to go to top schools and make a career out of it, I don't think that's a craze. It's just about getting global and proper business education at the top schools is what they're actually looking at and making careers out of it. The other population who want to just go outside India and work in country X or Y, this becomes a craze wherein a lot of agency models that have come in the industry and all of them essentially preying on a legalized way for them to go out and make careers out of it. Again, there is nothing wrong in that because you are essentially transforming not only your own life but your families as well. But there is where the craze is, not in the higher education where they are looking at top business schools. That's an interesting question. They come back with debt because they are not able to find good opportunities to work there. Visa problems have started a lot in a lot of countries. And again, it also depends on which B school or which college you've gone to. If the fundamental belief was that I want to get out of India and any other college, a community college or a college in a building will help me, those are the set of people who are finding it difficult to find jobs there because it's not a lot of good education that they're getting there because their purpose was to just live there. The other set of people who are looking at top B schools, not a lot of them would come back or are coming back. Even if they are mostly for family reasons. So again, you need to distinguish between which kind of colleges that these people have gone to. Because study abroad right now is that one broad-based term that is there which encompasses everything, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. And we need to sort of segregate that to actually find out the trends that are happening. I won't say that Indian education is only building followers. There are great leaders coming out of India who are actually going outside India and leading the companies abroad, as well as the fact that you can see a lot of founders who are building great businesses out of India. You might argue that these products are Amazon for India or Netflix for India, etc. It doesn't matter as long as they are building companies, providing employment and transforming lives. That's what matters, right? If you look at foreign education and if you ask me that one myth or one less glamorous part about it, it's how you sustain while you are doing your graduation or post-graduation there. The kind of odd jobs that you would end up doing which you will not even think about doing in India, managing things on your own away from family, I think that hits them the most amongst everything else. Everything else in terms of cultural aspects, sometimes racism, sometimes biases that a lot of people have about Indians play a part, but it's those intangibles that truly hit home. Geopolitics is something that affects not just Indian students but everybody around. I mean, it's like saying that if I'm being in India and demonetization did not affect me, for example, it's not to say that. Visa policies, OPT, how H1B fiasco or lack of it that happened recently impacted a lot of students. Even I am seeing right now a lot of students are not willing to go to even US top schools right now because they fear that visa policies might change and all our investment might go to West. In other parlance, geopolitics and wars that are happening around will also and are also impacting, because it's ultimately drying up jobs and funding from the market. So you cannot just separate geopolitics from your careers or studying abroad for that matter. So it is about both. You cannot just say that it's chasing status, because it's no longer a status symbol that, hey, I've studied outside, unless of course you're going to a top school. It is more about transforming your family, transforming the way, the opportunities that you get abroad versus what you get in India. That happens a lot, right? You can essentially work there, save up a lot and come back after 10 years. And live a lavish life in India. That is also what people want. It's just not about status for that matter. I think a degree's role is not just for placements. It's about you becoming a better professional, you becoming a much more well-rounded leader for that matter. And jobs is an offshoot of that. Job guarantees are for placement agencies. And that mindset is coming from India itself, where all colleges have to have their placement cells. No parent, no student is asking in India whether what kind of education are you providing, who's coming to teach, etc., etc. It's like placement package kitna hai, what is average placement is what they're looking at. So that is why we are not able to build as many leaders also as we can, although we are doing it. But there is a big delta that we can do if our mindset shifts from inputs or focusing more on inputs than the outputs. Now again, an A versus B question. My thing is, why can't it be A and B? Why can't it be traditional schools and new age B schools? Whichever a student wants, they can go to and then get management education or entrepreneurial education. That is what is missing in the country right now. Schools focusing on entrepreneurship. Everybody is focusing on jobs. So that is one thing. However, both of them are very different. On one hand, there are large campuses, there is legacy, there is people or professors who have come in with a lot of experience in teaching. On the other hand, industry practitioners are coming in teaching. So it is about what any student's preference is or the mode of learning. One is not better than the other. Of course, the new age schools, what they have done is they have expanded the landscape of management education. They have expanded the landscape for students to choose from and get decent and good education. Schools like IVB, schools like Masters Union, Altera Institute, etc. are there and are giving very good outcomes, not just from a numbers perspective, but eventually in terms of how the kind of students learn and you churn those students out into the system. So it's not A versus B, it's A and B, and the good thing is the ecosystem is expanding, and that's the best thing that can happen for an Indian student right now. If there is just one thing, if you ask me, that I will change, I think I will focus on practical exposure. Traditional education system teaches you something and then at work you learn a lot of other things. So it's that practical exposure that is one thing that is missing from a lot of colleges. It is beginning to show up now, especially also because of new age schools. But if traditional colleges are able to blend in that practical education, getting practitioners to come and teach along with the conceptual learning or theoretical learning they are providing, I think it will be a win-win.